Hello, and welcome to Andrew Broussard Watercolors. I've been getting a lot of questions about the materials that I'm using, specifically my brushes, so I wanted to create another video talking about that. First, I just wanted to talk about my palette, which in this case is a really large palette that I put together, and it has a lot of variety of colors, and it also has colors that are quite close to each other. I did this so that I can kind of see what I'm leaning towards and eventually develop a smaller palette from this. And off the bat, like I found out over time, that I'm more likely to reach for a rich green gold, a undersea green, Winsor Newton Naples yellow. So it's helped me start to see and start to create a palette. It also lets me compare warm and cool colors, Hansa yellow light, Hansa yellow medium, and in this case, we have something that's greener. In this case, something that's warmer. So it allows me to explore in that regard. Now for the brushes themselves. The biggest brush that I'm currently using, and keep in mind that the brushes that I'm using are kind of honed in on the 8x10, a little bit more detailed approaches. So I think that the sizes are kind of scaled accordingly. First thing that I use is this Fumi squirrel hair. And the Fumi, they had sent this to me. And off the top of my head, I don't remember what the price was, but I think it was probably something between 8 to 20. If you look on Amazon, I believe they have them there. If you look on Jerry's Artarama or Blick, you might be able to find some of these bigger mop brushes, and they just have different prices all across the board. Like this one is an Isabey, which I believe is probably in the $60–$70 range, but I got this one on clearance for in the 20s, and Mr. Mark helped me procure that. He had a shop nearby that had it on clearance. So I use the cheaper one currently, and I use it to wash in my initial background. And yeah, I think that's all I really kind of use that for, because if I need to do washes later on in the painting, I then move on to a smaller quill brush. This is a golden maple brush, another brush that was sent to me. I am probably in the $10 to $20 range. They call this one the natural white hair. I like it because it comes to a point, and it lets me control a little bit more with how I'm doing washes and kind of pushing things in. Some other quill brushes kind of in that same size, just so you can kind of see some other ones. We have a cheaper Hobby Lobby one, which I don't know if it's synthetic or not. Sometimes I can tell, but with this one, it seems like it's like right on the verge of it. And Hobby Lobby every other week has a sale on their brushes. You can tell that this one doesn't come to a point, but if you're looking for a quill brush and you want to explore one, that's a possibility. This is Harmony Squirrel Quill, which is Creative Mark, which is Jerry's Artarama. Probably again in the $8 range. And then this last one, Silver Antler Squirrel, which might have been an Amazon type of brush. And again, in that same type of price range. As you can tell, once again, this one kind of comes to a point. So this is the one that I'm more prone to using, because sometimes I just feel like I want that little extra control. But I think they would all work if you were looking for smaller washes. Now, the main brush that I use, or have been using lately, that I think people are really questioning, are these Chinese brushes. These Chinese brushes are super cheap and probably lacking quality control in a sense, but because they're so cheap and because they're natural hair and other aspects of them, I can really use them and modify them the way that I want. Now, before I kind of talk about the modification, I just want to talk about where you can procure them. Like, first thing is that you can find these on Temu and Amazon. If you search for Chinese watercolor brush and maybe add bamboo into that search, you'll have some of these come up. You'll get some of the other Chinese brushes coming up as well, but you kind of just have to filter through it in order to find these thin ones. Price-wise, Temu is going to have them for probably $2 or $3. Amazon, I did a quick check before, and it was about $8 to $10. And all it is buying directly from the supplier versus having a middleman through Amazon. A little bit of time difference, and if you have Prime, you could obviously get it a lot sooner. Now, these two were purchased off of Amazon, and I wanted to show you just how close the packaging was for it. And if I look at the manufacturer, this one says a place called Kushan, and this one has a name that I can't pronounce. And it's the same thing. It's just being mass-produced. Now, since it's using bamboo, it's using the natural product, and because of the price range, there's a lot of difference in sizes in one pack alone, just because of the different bamboo that they're using. You can see that this one on top is thinner than the one on the bottom, which is thicker. And you're more prone to having smaller groups of hair in a thinner brush than a thicker brush which has more hair in it. And I think that they were literally just fitting it in there and just taking what was available. I don't think these packs are actually sold as small, medium, and larges. I believe these are another pack that I had opened up just to show. And you can see that this guy right here is smaller. These two are larger, but it doesn't really seem to follow a small, medium, or large type of ordeal. It's just, once again, based off of the thickness of these brushes. So when you purchase them, if you can find it for cheap, I would say just buy 2 or 3 packs, especially if you can get them for $3 or $2 each. Now, the modifying them, I have been cutting them in 2 different ways. The first cut I started exploring was taking a razor blade, and if you use a razor blade, obviously just be careful, and cutting it on an angle in this fashion. Cutting that, when wet, gives me a smaller, thinner point that lets me get thinner lines being drawn. This is just water. I don't know if you can kind of see how it comes to a point easier. And using that for thinner lines, that's kind of my branches, grass, etc. This guy, I literally took scissors, razor blade, and just hacked it across in this fashion. When it's wet but not soaking wet, and I get my paint on it but it's not a large quantity of water, it'll start to flare out some, and I use that to stipple in groups of foliage and to put texture in that fashion. It's essentially just like the large hake brush, but this is more controlled and smaller, especially with the more detail that I'm doing on the 8x10. Now, just to show you, if we don't cut these, they usually have like kind of a flare to them, and you can get beautiful line variation with it. I'm just doing this so hopefully you can see how it widens and then comes back together. But cutting them helps me hone in on more of a pointed effect. So once again, when I cut these, and I wet it just so we can kind of see, I'm putting it right on an angle and cutting that right like that. And it brings me to this more narrower point. Almost like the end of a calligraphy dip pen in that regard. And once again with these, when I cut them, it's just like that. And if you get them, like I said, off of Temu, you're spending $2 on 3 of them. So it's totally fine. Makes it a lot easier to experiment. Now I do have a smaller brush that I reach for that works in the same regard but doesn't hold a lot of water. These are smaller round brushes. This is like an 18/0, and I bought a new one so that I can show you just fresh. Here is a spotter, which honestly looks like the exact same brush. And I don't know if they were just changing names back and forth, but it's just these smaller points, which if I need to do a small detail on a spot and just kind of correct something, it's sometimes easier to reach for these than trying to load up one of these brushes for small areas. Then there's one last brush that I've been reaching for, and I purchased another one so you can see what it looks like brand new. And these are just small round 0 brush. And when I utilize these, I can push them in this fashion. And you see that kind of spread that I get? That helps me create a different type of texture. I'll also use this brush on its side. So rather than washing in a color into an area, I'll kind of almost like an impressionist spot in color throughout so I can build up texture over time. One last thing before I wrap this one up. We can do the same thing with these Chinese brushes, where you're pushing them down on an angle and get splays out. If I'm working in the foreground and I just need a wild collection of bushes and weeds, that right there works great for that texture right off the bat. I've also used this texture to build up foliage as well. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. If there's anything that I'm not being clear on, let me know. And yeah, I'll be back soon with more videos. Y'all take care and have a great day. But put any questions down below and I'll try to answer them. Y'all take care.